bit of a live stream today from Manchester. We're going to do a few of these throughout the day. So we're here at the 2025 Housing Symposium, and what you'll notice today is that the audio quality is much improved from my recent one that I did. We've upgraded the microphone, so we've got much better tech quality now. The Wi-Fi is a lot better here. When we were doing them from the Highland Show, the Royal Highland Show in Scotland the other day, they weren't so good. However, today it's great. Let me tell you about this event. You can see all around me lots and lots and lots of exhibitors. So the Housing Symposium is a huge gathering, it's a massive event, and it's full of landlords from local government, social housing, people with a vested interest in the provision of housing. We've got private developers, private builders, we've got local government, and then we've also got social landlords as well. And the idea is for all of the providers and the people offering goods and services into that sector to get together here in Manchester and show the world what's on offer. It's a brilliant event. It's right in the heart of Manchester, absolutely ginormous, as you can see. I'm here with some colleagues today. So you know me, I'm from Risk and Safety Compliance Services. We provide various risk, safety and risk management products, services and training solutions. And today I'm here with my colleagues and we're talking about housing, damp and mould solutions. And I'm going to show you some in a moment. I'm going to introduce you in a moment to a guy called Martin Curran. And Martin is the Managing Director of Urban Systems. Urban Systems is a southern-based organisation, and they're involved in provision of solutions to make sure people living in rented accommodation and private accommodation have good indoor air quality. And in particular, in relation to the audience from today, where we're talking about landlords, whether they're private landlords, social landlords, or local government landlords, the provision of clean, safe housing. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail later on this afternoon when we talk about the problems associated with damp. You may well indeed be aware of a thing called Awaab's law. So in October 2025, a new law, it's already passed through Parliament, will become fully applicable to the housing sector, not private landlords, but social landlords and local government landlords. Awaab's law comes into place, and it puts stringent requirements on the providers of social housing and local government housing to ensure that people aren't put at the risk from damp and mould. The reason it's called Awaab's law goes back to a very unfortunate incident a few years ago when a 2-year-old child who was living in accommodation provided by Rochdale Housing Association died. And the reason he died was directly attributable to the damp and the mould conditions that were present in the house that they were renting. And despite numerous complaints to numerous issues raised over quite a long period of time, nothing was done. This young child has died because of the mould and the damp and the conditions that exist in your house, Rochdale. On the back of that, Awaab's law comes into place in October 2025, and there'll be a requirement on landlords to do something, to take action, and take action quickly. It's not going to be applicable immediately to private landlords, although that's likely to happen at a future date. So let's have a quick chat about what can be done about damp and mould in rented properties. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera around now. I'm going to show you the stand. I've just mentioned Martin from Urban Systems. Let me turn that around. You'll still be able to hear me clearly. So here we are on the stand. So we're on stand C69 here at the Manchester Convention Centre, right in the centre of Manchester. And I'll introduce you to Martin in a moment, but let me just quickly show you around. So Urban Systems here today with myself and Simon from Objective Health. And what we're talking about is the solutions that are available to treat, but more importantly, prevent damp in rental properties. So, first, Martin, hi. Martin,
Hi, Richard.
Let me introduce you to Martin. Martin Curran is the Managing Director of Urban Systems. Martin, I've just had a quick look around and I've explained to people what the show's all about here today. Perhaps, if you don't mind, just a quick rundown in the solutions that Urban Systems are currently offering to the rental market, whether it's social housing, whether it's private housing, or whether it's local government housing. Solutions for damp and mold prevention. Tell us a little bit about what's on offer today.
Well, thanks, Richard, for taking time out to come to the stand. At Urban Systems, we offer a unique twin-track approach for the eradication of mold, as you say, from all types of dwellings and even commercial buildings. We have our BioVita Light technology, which is a unique global technology. It uses just white light, no UV or infrared, so it's safe to be illuminated in the presence of people and animals.
Yeah.
Using visible light to eliminate bacteria, viruses, mold and odours.
Let's just hone in on that.
Yes.
I think that's really important because what you mentioned there, Martin, is really critical. It's not UV, and that's a key differentiator, isn't it?
Yeah, Richard, a lot of work had been done with visible light over 100 years ago, suspended with the advent of penicillin because it was easy and cheap to manufacture. Yeah. Now, as we are well aware of resistance to antibiotics, we need to look at other technologies in the battle against bacteria and viruses. Mold happens to be a bacteria as well. So this Italian technique has been developed as a safe technology which allows continuous sanitization. And in fact, it's the only safe continuous sanitization technology globally at present, which means it can be illuminated at all times and let people carry on their day-to-day activities.
See, that's really important. So we're talking about a light that not only gives the levels of illumination required, but equally, while it's on, it's sanitizing the environment, killing the mold, killing the bacteria and viruses.
And to help us here in the UK and back home in the Irish market, Richard, we've partnered with the University of Birmingham, the Food Safety Department and Chemical Engineering, and they do a lot of our testing for us. So we have local support in proving out the technology, and obviously backed up with all the test reports from the Italian headquarters.
I think that's a really important point to make here, Martin, because the people I speak to, when I first tell them about, I'll get you back in shot. When I first tell them about BioVita lighting, it's kind of like, really?
Yes.
Is that proven? And what you're saying is, and it's great that we get it in the video here, that it is proven, and we're saying to people, well, don't take our word for it. Here's the independent analysis and results.
And that's a very important point, Richard. All the tests are independent. They're either from approved laboratories or from universities. None of the test results are ours, generated by ourselves. They're all independent. And there's a raft of information available for anybody interested. This technology is now going global in every sector in the world.
I think that's a really important point to make as well, because it's not just for housing, although we're here today at the housing show. That's really important for damp and mold solutions. And later on this afternoon, we're going to talk about the Fantini Cosmi products and the other things that work in combination with the BioVita light. But you mentioned those other sectors. There's uses for agriculture.
That's right. Yeah, we
have
installations in stables and dairy sheds, offices, back to work. It's an ideal technology now for people to come back to work and have a safer environment to work in. This will help sanitize the general office area, but also particular equipment, keyboards, vending machines, water fountains, where people share their time. It's an ideal technology to be continuously there sanitizing. It sanitizes both the surface and the air, so it's a dual combination in the battle against bacteria elimination.
I think that's really important. It's providing the light. It's LED, so it's very cost effective.
Very energy efficient, long lasting, so it's got all the attractions of an LED light with a special chip technology which then does the sanitizing.
And that's the globally patented
technology from BioVita.
So if people want to find out a little bit more information then, Martin, where shall we send them? What shall we send them to? Urban Systems?
If they come to Urban Systems, so it's www.urbansystems.ie. We have loads of partners in the UK like yourself, Richard, and Objective Health, Anglo Nordic, and so more than happy to talk to people and give them any more information.
Right. So if people literally just search BioVitae in the UK. They're going to come up with either Ermin Systems, Objective Health, or myself. We're all working together. There's a joint approach in something that's really exciting, something that's unique, and has a real role to play in limiting disease, preventing damp and mold, and ultimately improving people's conditions of living, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, and it helps stop the spread of infections. So it does. It's used now in infection control, infection prevention. It's the only white light peer review to eliminate COVID. It eliminates MRSA. So it's got multiple applications. And go back to the housing, Richard. Not only mold, if these are installed in the kitchens, it will help stop the spread of foodborne illnesses like Salmonella and E. coli.
See, that's a really interesting. So I was reading the report this very morning about the effect of the light on stainless steel and glass surfaces, and so I'm thinking people preparing things like chicken, and, in kitchens and that. This light has a great role to play in reducing the levels of bacteria, reducing the amount of food poisoning, and going back to what we said before, keep people safe and healthy.
And that's the aim of.
For your time, I'm going to come back later on if that's all right, and we'll do another one, and we'll talk about the actual ventilation systems and keeping the air at a good temperature, but not bringing in cold air, but keeping our rooms stable and preventing the build-up of moisture, more importantly, which then goes on to leads on to the mold and the spores proliferate.
Yes.
So we'll come back to that. Let me turn around. Martin, thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
See
Richard.
you soon.
Thank you.
So thanks, everyone. I hope you found that interesting. I'll turn myself around again so you can see. So we're here. This is the stand here with Martin, who we just had a great chat with, from Ermin Systems based in Southern Ireland, working in conjunction with Simon from Objective Health. That's Simon Smith from Objective Health, and myself, Richard Wade, from Risk and Safety Compliance Services. So between the three of us, we are the people to discuss BioVitae lighting or properties where we want to control the spread of disease-causing organisms and spores that literally kill people. We have a solution to fix that. We have the products to stop penetrating damp. So it's a one-stop shop, basically. So give us a shout. We're here on stand C69 in Manchester, and we will be delighted to welcome you and have a chat with you and let you know a little bit of further information about the products and the services on offer from Ermin Systems, Objective Health, and Risk and Safety Compliance Services. And you can see we've got an interested customer just behind us there. We've been quite busy this morning. There's loads of people coming along to have a chat, see what's on offer. You'd be more than welcome as well. So that's me checking out for now, and we'll see you later. Thank you.